She was buried in her wedding dress. That's the first thing the old caretaker told me. No hello. No handshake. He just handed me the keys, pointed at the map, and said don't go near the east plot after sundown. That's where she sleeps. I laughed. I really shouldn't have laughed. My name is Daniel Marsh. 26 years old, broke and desperate. But I took the overnight groundskeeper job at Holloway Cemetery in rural upstate New York. Walk the perimeter, check the gates. Log anything unusual, simple and oog. The previous caretaker, an old man named Gerald, gave me one tour before he left forever. He showed me the chapel, the tool shed, the water main, and then, at the edge of the east plot, he stopped. He held his lantern up toward a section of graves set apart by a low stone wall and said, the last of the Vayne family, a daughter named Elara, died the night of her wedding in 1887. They buried her in her gown. I waited, and he looked at me a long moment. Some nights, the flowers on her grave are fresh when they shouldn't be. Some nights, the gate to her plot is open when nobody opened it. He handed me the log. He walked to his car. He drove away and never came back. My first full circuit of the cemetery took 40 minutes, nothing unusual, until I reached the east plot. The gate was closed, the stone wall intact. In the center of the plot stood a marble monument, a woman carved in white stone, one hand extended, palm up. Beautiful. In the way, only slightly wrong things can be beautiful. I turned to leave, and every single cricket stopped. All at once, I spun back around. The plot was empty. The gate was closed, but the marble hand I was almost certain had been facing down when I first looked. I wrote in the log, East plot. No anomalies. I needed this job. 5 nights in, I brought my camera, just for atmosphere. The old headstones, the moonlight on the chapel. Harmless. When I loaded the photos the next morning, most were exactly what I expected, except the east plot shots. In 3 of my 15 photos of the Vayne monument, the marble hand was full. Fresh white flowers, small and tightly budded, resting in the carved stone palm. I had not put them there. There was nobody else on that property. I went back before my next shift, walked straight to the monument. The palm was empty. I crouched at the grave marker, flat stone, dark with age. Elara Vayne, beloved bride, 1864 to 1887. She waits still. At the base of the stone, one fresh white flower bud, not wilted, not browning. As if placed that morning, I looked at the empty cemetery around me, and I kept reading the log. Gerald had been keeping records for 30 years. Most entries were mundane, but scattered through them, appearing again and again, were entries about the east plot. East gate found open, no footprints outside the wall. Fresh flowers on the Vayne monument, no record of a visitor. Heard something near the east plot, like cloth moving. No wind tonight, and then this one, the handwriting more hurried than the rest. There is a woman in the east plot who is not a woman. She stands near the monument. She wears white. She has not hurt me, but she watches me, and I feel it even when I'm not looking. This feeling of being watched by something very, very patient. I don't know what she wants. I don't think I want to know. And the final entry. Last page, dated the night before I arrived. I hope the new one reads this. I hope he is careful, and if he sees her, and he will see her, I hope he remembers. She is beautiful. That's the thing about her. She is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And that is exactly the problem. I saw her on the 9th night, almost exactly midnight. I had just finished my 2nd circuit when the feeling hit me. Not a sound, not a movement. The feeling of being watched. I turned toward the east plot. She was standing at the gate, on teensy hands resting on the iron bars, looking through them directly at me. My brain tried to normalize it. A visitor. A mourner. But the gates had been locked since 9 p.m. And she wasn't pushing against them. Wasn't trying to open them, just standing, absolutely still with the quality of stillness. That is not stillness at all. sparked focused attention. She wore white. Floor length. High collar. A veil that pooled around her feet and moved. Not with wind. There was no wind, but with the gentle movement of breathing. Gerald was right. She was beautiful. Pale and still, a beauty that belongs to a different century. Hair dark against the white of the dress. Eyes open, looking directly at me. I didn't run. I couldn't. Because what I saw in her face wasn't threat. It was sorrow. Deep, absolute sorrow. She raised one hand from the gate and pointed slowly at the grave behind her. The flat stone. She waited still. She looked back at me, and she was gone. Not like someone who walks away, like a candle someone blows out. I stood there for a long moment. Then I walked to the gate and shone my flashlight through. Fresh flowers, a small bouquet of white buds, placed neatly against the headstone. She was leaving flowers on her own grave. I had made up my mind to quit. Resignation written, bag packed. But on my last night, I made one final circuit. The way you finish a book even when you know it will haunt you, and found the east gate wide open. I walked through. The silence held. Then the air shifted. Not temperature, not sound, just pressure releasing. Like a room that had been holding its breath for 130 years, finally letting it go. I looked up at the marble statue. The palm was down. I turned to leave. The gate was closed behind me. Quietly. Gently. The way you close a door when someone is sleeping. I quit the next morning. I haven't gone back, but 6 months later I looked up the new groundskeeper's number. I thought about calling, about warning him. I didn't call. I sent one text. Read the log. He never texted back. Maybe stress played tricks on my mind, or maybe some places carry things we simply don't understand. But one thing I believe with certainty is this: everything happens by the will of Allah. Nothing moves, nothing changes, and nothing touches our lives without His knowledge. Everything happens according to Allah's will, and maybe some questions are not meant to be answered. If you're watching this, new guy, if somehow this found you, don't go to the East Plot after midnight. And if you see her, she is beautiful. That is exactly the problem.